is February.
Let me give JP a credit. JP, that was a great snappy comeback you came with. You're hanging out with us enough. You're becoming a sarcastic person just like us. I admire you for that. I admire you for that. You cannot fire me, Tom. Only Kevin can.
I have no idea if Terry left or not. We don't know. We don't know.
I think he's walked out for a higher salary.
He took his break, took his food. He wanted to talk baseball, and I didn't know if I'd have known he was going to leave early, I'd have let him. I'm not going to talk about it. I wasn't that cared about that much. The cheating scandal is what he wanted to talk about, so I'm not really. We can talk about that all summer. So
I guess he's gone. He mic dropped.
I guess he did. He left. He didn't say bye. He didn't say anything. Just walked down the hall.
Bye, Terry.
Guess he retired.
I guess tired. Terry got mad.
We honestly have no idea what just happened.
I don't know if anybody made him mad, did we? I don't think we made him mad.
He's in the hallway.
Oh, okay. Terry, don't do that to us, man. I'm over here looking at Hallmark cards. Terry, whatever I did, I'm sorry, Terry. I didn't. Terry, did I offend you? I'm sorry, Terry. I didn't. Are you a sensitive 90s guy? Because I remember back in the 90s is when all this sensitive guy stuff started.
Oh, my.
It's got to be a pain
that was early
when
2000s,
you have to go use a restroom and everybody's wondering where you went.
We just disappeared.
It's the manner in which you went. You went like...
You literally just took him off, walked out and said, I'm tired of talking about the XFL. I was like, well, he's gone now.
Baseball cheating. Come on, it's baseball
we
cheating.
can do the
All right, Terry, go.
Go ahead, baseball
cheating. Well, I guess since we got rid of all that other junk we was talking about, and we'll go to stuff that means something now.
We're going to move on from professional football to baseball, which is, Terry, you poo-poo it, but the XFL players are now qualified for the NFL Hall of Fame. I mean, the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, good job.
Well, they got to play 5 years, then retire for 5 years.
I thought we were talking about baseball.
I know.
Pro Football Hall of Fame, they're qualified for it. I know that breaks your heart, but they are.
Have come out now where all of them are talking of how they were cheated out of a World Series, and I agree with every one of them, and I agree.
Should they take the championship away?
Yes. I said yes.
Yes.
This was something
I'm honest
that
to God
was
surprised they didn't.
That's what's wrong with our sports now. You can cheat in NASCAR and still keep your trophy.
Yes,
you can cheat now in the World Series and still keep your trophy. Yo, that's wrong. I don't care who you are.
The Patriots can cheat and still keep their trophy.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what is wrong with this world? If you cheat, it should be stripping.
But if you're Ohio State and you get
or Michigan
and you get tattoos, vacate the wins. Vacate the wins, guys, because you got tattoos.
Yeah,
but you can cheat in baseball and win a World Series.
If you're Louisville and you're Rick Pitino and you let your people that are touring campus go out with strippers,
I mean, just a couple of strippers. It's okay. It's a couple of strippers.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
But if you're at Ohio State and you get a tattoo, no.
From the Dodgers who were saying all of them players ought to be thrown at.
I'm not saying that. Just take the championship. That's all you got to do. Take the championship.
The only problem with the strippers was that the school was paying them and not the kid. They were 18. So all that was right. I'm just saying.
Hey, wait, no, Terry. Let me ask, because I know you follow this. What do you think about the Toronto pitcher who got shelled and it was like the last game of his career, and now he's suing?
Is he the one that's suing?
Yes, he's the one suing.
He's suing. Which I think he's got a case.
He does.
He's got a case.
Does,
I think that's a solid case. That if I'm a Major League Baseball player and I'm on an elite level, and these players are elite level, and now they've got a leg up on me and knocked me out of the league.
Every one of them Dodger players, Bellinger, all of them are saying, you don't understand what you took away from us.
And the game of baseball.
Yes.
And the game
and here's the thing. So I'm totally fine with them taking the championship away, but not rewarding it to the Dodgers.
No.
Saying vacate that championship. Vacate it. And then take away Altuve's MVP.
Vacate
that.
Because that was his MVP season.
Yep.
And I loved Altuve, too, because of that season. I thought he was phenomenal. Now I can't even look at him.
But you cannot sit here and tell me, if I know what the next pitch is, I still got to hit it. But if I know what it is,
and see, that's my
I can adjust.
I understand. And see, that's why I'm like not so crazy hurt about it, because I do understand you still have to hit the ball, but at the same time, I know that cheating is cheating, and I understand where everybody's coming from. The question, the thing is now, a lot of people are starting to go at the commissioner has he been too soft? Is he letting the players off scotch-free in Bregman and Altuve by not? Is it on him to impose a sanction, or is it on the front office to do suspensions?
What's the other Manchester soccer's taken away for 2 years?
Yeah, it's Manchester City. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what you need to do to Houston.
Kicked out of the Champions League.
You want me to show you how
years.
this much what you just did?
You mean kick him out of the league?
Yeah.
Kick him out of the
I'm
league.
sorry. For 2 years or longer.
Yeah.
For what you just did, and you don't think that hurts your whole economy?
It would make it would make the next team think twice.
Yes, before doing it again.
It would almost.
I'm sure that would violate the collective bargaining agreement.
Those players.
There's always something in there to protect.
The players that weren't a part of the scandal would be kind of hurting because they're like, "Well, where's our paycheck going to come from?" But
that's not my problem. That's what I'd say. That's not
was
my
you
problem.
part of it?
Yeah.
Did you dadgum know what was coming? Yeah, you did. You knew everything.
Problem. That's what I would tell them. Not my problem. You break the rules. It's kind of like guys saying, "Oh, I'm in jail. I can't get a steak dinner every night." Well, you know what? That's not my problem.
Did you see the? First of all, PR 101. That was a horrible press conference by the Houston Astros. Absolutely horrible. Yeah. Altuve made a whole 30-second appearance and just said, "I'm sorry," and walked away. And what was it? The owner. Is his last name Kane or whatever it is for the?
I saw him, but I don't know.
Yeah,
what his
he
name
made
is.
a brief appearance, and he said he came up here, and he was talking, and one of the lines he said, to me, I don't believe it affected the game. He said that, and then literally like 15 seconds later, the guy asked him the question and said, "So do you not?" You said that this didn't affect the game, and he looked at him and said, "I didn't say that." I didn't.
Well, that's our culture. Everybody does. Everybody does that.
I was like, "You literally just."
And
said
after
it.
all of that happened, that's when mostly all the Dodgers people come out just raising Cain.
Because they the Astros obviously don't have to take it seriously because nothing's happening.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen to them.
Nothing's happening.
And that's where they started talking about, well, I'll tell you what, every time one of them steps in the box, I'm throwing at him. You know? And, and you sit back on us, and that's the worst part about it, because if the Dodgers had to play the Astros this year, what a series that would be. That would be loaded down. They'd show every game of that because that's what they'd be looking for. But they don't play each other unless they meet in the World Series.
Now this is what I really want to see. How good are the Astros going to be? How good are the Astros going to be now that they can't cheat? Are they going to be the same team?
And they lost their manager.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Dusty Baker's not a bad manager.
No.
He's not bad. I mean, he's not who they had.
Still around.
Yeah.
I mean, he was around. He was with the Giants, right?
But how much do you think this will hurt them?
How much do I think?
First, do you think they'll drop down to maybe third or fourth in the league now and not make the playoffs on account of all this?
You mean third or fourth maybe in their division?
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that depending on how steep, if anybody gets suspended. If Bregman gets suspended, if Altuve gets suspended, I don't even know, and how many suspensions? Because if they go to the fact of you are just guilty by association, then that whole team is suspended.
Yeah. I'm just so mad at how sports generally, and that's like if you got a coach and he brings some kid in, well, you know what? That coach is gone, that player's gone, but who's going to get the punishment? The school.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much stuff that's wrong. It should be that coach getting busted and that player. And like Dennis Smith, hey, buddy, if you took this, I tell you what, buddy, a whole season you don't get paid in the NBA. Because we're going to show you what that little bit cost you.
This is what's going to get Altuve when he's hit the home run. I can't remember what game it is, and he's coming in and he's telling nobody touch me, nobody touch me. That is all you need to see.
It was the walk-off to beat the Yankees.
You know what I say, Mr. Altuve, you're not going to play in 2020. That's what I tell him. Sorry. You're not going to play in 2020.
Suspension. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
And he seems like a great guy too. Like I've seen him. He did Saturday Night Live one time, and he just seemed like a great guy.
They are. They probably all are. But I'm going to take the binge if you're going to give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to tell me what the next pitch is coming, okay, that's great for me.
Baseball's bigger than you is what I'd say. And baseball's already trying, like we haven't even talked about how they're trying to change the playoff format and things. That tells you that baseball's trying to stimulate interest because, like what Kevin says, football in any form seems to be on the rise, and baseball's trying to make itself more interesting, and this is something that's going to hurt it. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you deal with this.
And
deal
one
with it
thing I
honestly.
do like what Major League Baseball has done, your reliever that comes in's got to face 3 guys. The greatest thing ever.
Yeah. No
Oh,
one
so
batter take
When
out.
did they change that?
That's coming this year.
Is that a proposed or is going to
No, that's done.
Really?
You're going to have to face
Great.
3 batters. If you're relieving, it ain't no me switching the very next guy.
I
haven't-
You
I
got
haven't
to
seen
face
that.
3
Yeah,
guys.
I
like
love that.
You sure
I
like
love
that?
Yes.
that.
I love it.
That's a great rule. Now, you could, if he's really bad, just
It
That way
keeps,
we
it
ain't
keeps the
switching.
game going.
Yeah, we
it
ain't
keeps the
switching.
game
And
going.
from a 30-second, what is it? Something that
With the
went down
pitch
to
count,
20.
The pitch
yeah,
count, like
it goes
the,
down to 20
get to the
seconds
mound
now.
and get set.
Yeah, I forget
Okay.
what it is. Something went from 30 to 20.
it needs
Cut
to.
10 seconds
to
off
speed
or
it up
something.
because these games are 4 hours. It's
Oh,
too
I know
long.
what it is. To replay, if you want to have something looked at again, or how much time you got between your next pitch. It's
Yeah.
not.
Y'all
It's
know
not
what
30
we're
seconds.
gonna
no more,
have.
it's
We're
20.
gonna have pitchers faking injuries.
Well, that can happen. That's the only way he can
You're
come
gonna have
out.
no.
You know what
it
that reminds
It
me
says
of?
the ending. The inning can end too. It's 3 batters in an inning. If you pitch 1 batter and get the last out, you can come and get the last out and then come out.
Okay, yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can.
But you can come in though.
But you don't
you're
have to
gonna
come back.
face-
But you don't have to come back
Yeah,
in the
but
next
you're
inning
gonna
and
have
go
to face
to.
3 though. If you're in there in that inning and he's
Well, I'm saying you can still come out and get 1 out, and that's all you have to do.
If it's 2 outs.
Because
it's 2
yeah,
outs.
it's
If
you
they're
don't
2
have to
outs.
come back in the next inning.
Right.
You
Okay.
can only face 1 or 2 batters in that situation, which is, I mean, that's kind of what they do anyway.
A lot of times, yes.
There's 2 outs, they're still going to bring
But
in a
I have-
lefty reliever.
But I have seen him.
Oh,
1
yeah.
out, bringing the lefty,
Bringing
bringing a
another
righty,
one.
bringing
Right.
a
Yep.
lefty. Yeah, I've seen
Well,
it.
They
Tony
literally
La
did
Russa
that this
started that
they
bull
did
crap.
that this last World Series, and I wanted to pull my hair out every second.
Well, that's one thing in a high school game. You don't see it because only 3
Yeah.
boys on a team can pitch. So you don't see it in a high school game, but you definitely see it in a pro game.
All right, real quick, Major League Baseball is expanding or talking about expanding to 7 teams in the playoffs. What I like and love and don't like about it, I love the idea of expanding the playoffs. I don't like not shortening the regular season any, and I don't like this idea that they've come up with, which is dumb. But the one seed gets the bye, which is fine. Then 2 through 7 is kind of like the Big South tournament. I just talked to Levine last night about. I was supposed to play audio. Crap. Anyway, and then the rest of them, the 3 other top seeds will actually, the first 2 other division winners will choose their opponent
the dumb part.
instead of just seeding them. So the second seed will get to choose which wild card team they want to play, as opposed to the other way. And then the 2 leftover teams play each other.
And then
basically.
you could feasibly have a series where you play 3 games at their place and you don't get any home games.
So Hunter was saying that there, and what I've heard is that this is just them throwing out a ridiculous
That's what
part
your
of
cousin
it
said.
to try to get.
Your cousin said that.
Yeah, but Zach. Oh, it was Zach. Okay,
Yeah.
That he said that what they were doing is maybe they're throwing out like a negotiation tool. We're going to throw this out. They'll throw that out, but we can keep the 7 teams. If they would reduce the number of regular season games, I think that's the biggest step. But I love expanding the playoffs. But they're talking about 3, 5, 7, 7 is possibly the series. So you're getting rid of the 1 game play in, which is good. So ideas, thoughts on that? Here's the matchups I had. So last year it would have been Boston in New York, Yankees in the first round, playing the winner of Twins and Cleveland in the first round. So you guys would have made the playoffs last year. And then it would have been Houston playing the winner of Oakland and Tampa series. In the National League, it would have been Diamondbacks in Atlanta in the first round, playing the winner of Mets at St. Louis in the first round. When I say at, that means higher seed, folks. So 2 seed, 3 seed would be St. Louis. 4 and 5 seeds would have been the Nationals and Brewers, which they did play this year, and the winner plays the LA Dodgers. So it kind of sets up kind of the same way. It's just another round instead of, and I'm all for more playoff baseball and less regular season baseball.
One little tidbit I'd throw, which nobody's going to agree with.
All right.
Shorten the baseball season.
Yeah, that's what I said. I love that.
They're not going to do that. They're
No,
not going
they're
to do
not.
that. But I'd say if you made baseball 80 instead of 160, every game's bigger.
I think even if you
120 would
just
be
take,
fine.
even
You
if
would
let's say
take
take 20 or
40
40
games.
drop
games.
it to 125.
But the only thing was if you have an 80-game season, your better pitchers could probably pitch more games, and then the games aren't as entertaining because you don't have as much hitting, and people would rather pay to watch good hitting than good pitching. I mean,
Real
it's
quick
just
with
for
that thought,
entertainment value.
There's been this tossed around. What about back of the mound up to 62 feet?
Yeah, that could be some.
Instead of keep messing with the baseballs and other things like that, why not just back up the mound?
More often.
If you back up the mound, it's just 18 inches more feet. So that gives the hitter 1/100th of an extra second.
You know what another guy said too, Kevin? Take the plate, which is 17 inches, and shrink it to like 14 or 12 inches. Make the strike zone smaller.
I like 3 strikes. 3 balls instead of 4 balls. I like that idea.
Something to force the pitcher to throw more.
If you got less balls, if it's only 3 balls for a walk, then there's less time we're pitching too. That's an extra pitch that the pitcher's up there. If the guy's fouling off with 3 balls and you've already walked him by now.
But how about that? What do you think about a 14-inch plate? Shrink it down.
I don't like. I think
make
it's a
them
good
throw
size.
it down. Basically, you're saying
you're just throwing it over the middle.
Right.
There's different ways to generate offense than moving in fences and changing the ball.
Put in the
mound back.
Put in the church softball rule.
You've already said
you can't foul it off so many times before it's just an out.
We've already passed the point of the records meaning anything anymore. Because
of steroids.
The steroids did that, and then the new age kids now say, well, none of those stats we don't care about. But we don't care about batting average. We don't care about home runs and doubles. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is these advanced statistics. And so we've gotten to the point where we're going to be arguing in 5 years when Mike Trout has 500 homers if he's better than Barry Bonds all time. That's what they're going to be arguing when he's 260 homers behind Bonds. Oh, is he better than Barry Bonds? Come on, guys. So. And what I mean by backing up the mound a little bit is that, and what Terry, you're talking about with the banging and how you need the extra, you will take it. Every team I've ever been on, if the first base coach can see the calls, he'll give you a signal. Name is fastball, number, curve. Okay, as every baseball team, if you'll hear it now, Tom, you start umpiring.
Come on, John.
If you hear the coach say, "Come on, 14," and he's wearing 9. Coach has the signal. He doesn't know what number you are. He just yelled, come on, 14.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you back it up an extra, the thing about in Tom umpiring, when you see 90-mile-per-hour pitching and umpiring, you're thinking, holy crap. One, as an umpire, please someone catch this.
I pray.
Yeah.
I start
and then
praying
think about it as a batter. I've been in the box. Once you see 90, you have to almost decide, I'm swinging at a nothing but a fastball on this pitch and can't look at anything else because it's so fast when they let go of the ball at 90 plus. And what'd you say? Is 92 was the average? Zach looked it up the other day. It's went up from 88 to 92 in the last 20 years.
It's kind of funny too. Like a lot of umpires think they can call that higher level ball, but when you start seeing a guy throw 92, it raises the skill level that you're required to do. A lot of these guys, I think, I want to do a higher level games, but it does get a lot.
I think what's
harder
really harder on this
that.
as it gets faster, Tom, is the check swings.
Yes,
yes, at behind the plate, because you're looking. If that fastball breaks, then that changes your eye level. Then if the batter has any type of a check swing, there's so much stuff going on.
You take your vision. You take your eye off.
Right, it's tough.
I think the ones that are the absolute best don't, but like a lot of guys, you have a tendency to do that because you think the ball's going to be gone. Oh, that's a check swing. Got to make a call.
All right.